All right, in transit today, we speak to a Montreal man who is warning other drivers about the Smart Summon feature on his Tesla vehicle. Now, the Smart Summon feature is supposed to act kind of sort of like a valet service that will allow the car to come to you. But as often is the case with Tesla products, sometimes the name of the product doesn't live up exactly to what it delivers. Full self-driving, of course, offered by Tesla. It is not full self-driving, at least yet. Smart Summon, maybe not so smart. Let's find out more. George Ghazzoul joins us on the line. Hi, George.
Hey, Elias. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing well. Listen, I'm a fellow Tesla owner, so I'm very interested in this story.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So you get it. And I mean, you described it perfectly there.
So let's talk about this a bit. First off, I want to know from you, George, are you a techie? Like, why did you buy a Tesla?
100% for the tech.
Gotcha.
No other reason.
Okay, so you're someone, would you say you're someone that knows your technology?
Yeah, okay. I would say so.
All right. So
I work in tech consulting. I'm a big tech guy, and that's my whole world.
All right. So then you know about all of these various features that they throw into the Tesla. Some are better than others. Why don't you tell our listeners what happened when you tried to use the Smart Summon feature?
Yeah. So on April 10th, I was part of basically everybody in North America who got the Smart Summon feature as a 1-month free trial, just to get everybody to potentially see what the capabilities are and see if after the trial you'd be impressed enough to go with a subscription for it. Safe to say, I'm not going for a subscription, but essentially I got in the car, had a software update, and it said, have full self-driving. And I already tried full self-driving on the loaner cars before when I've been in service and figured we don't have the roads for it, we don't have the line markings, and like that you can partially blame the city and just the way it's set up. Maybe we're not the best to support that kind of infrastructure. But the Smart Summon I've always been curious to try. We've all seen the videos, we've all kind of seen the idea of it. I mean, in theory, it's great if it's raining, if it's snowing, and you still have a visual limit that you have to see the car, you have to be within a certain radius to request it, which I obviously was, otherwise the app wouldn't have let me. But so I was at Fairview, and I'm summoning the car probably no more than 10 cars away, and I can see the whole thing. It starts moving forward, but then it takes a sharp turn to the right, and I figure, I don't know where it's going. And there was actually a bystander a little far away who started to take her phone out because they probably freaked out seeing this car driving on its own. And then I'm like, okay, let me stop this. So I stop it, but the car actually doesn't stop in time, continues to move a little bit forward, and sideswipes another car. I obviously get in the car, write a note, wait for the driver to show up in case they were almost leaving the mall or something, and I end up meeting the driver, explaining the situation. Luckily, she was super nice, and I dealt with them, and we're dealing with a body shop right now and everything. But yeah, so come to find out, this feature is actually illegal. I reached out to 4 Tesla dealerships right after the incident. Nobody even let me speak to a manager, let alone customer service or whatever. They just call the support line. I called the support line. They were completely unwilling to do any help. They're like, this is an insurance issue. We don't understand why you get in an accident and you decide to call the company that made the car. This is clearly something with the police. This is something with insurance. And I'm telling them the part that you don't get is that I wasn't even in the driver's seat, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you do have some accountability because if I was in the driver's seat, yes, I would have called insurance because it would have been on me. But there was nobody in the driver's seat of the vehicle, so it's purely a software issue. And they were just completely uninterested, and I figured I went to City News, then CTV picked up the story, now you guys are calling, and essentially what I just want people to be aware of is this feature is apparently illegal in Quebec. It's a huge public safety risk because, just luckily, thank God, there was no kids or no old people or just, as a matter of fact, anybody crossing the road that the car decided to not see or just ignore and just hit,
Yeah. George, let me just ask you one thing. And by the way, I'm also a techie and I've had the Tesla. So I'm in the loop here and I do a show every day where we talk about cars and tech features and all that kind of stuff, right? So I do know that the Smart Summon feature is separate from full self-driving. There's separate technologies. I totally understand how the average person will not know that and throw that in altogether. But I want to read you one thing, okay? So this is the warning that pops up when you want to use Smart Summon for the first time. Smart Summon is a beta feature. you must continually monitor the vehicle and surroundings and stay prepared to take immediate action at any time. It is the driver's responsibility to use Smart Summon safely, responsibly, and as intended. It's your responsibility to familiarize yourself with the limitations of Smart Summon. Now, do you think that the Tesla did a good enough job to warn you, to warn others of just how not smart it may be?
Yeah, so no, quite frankly, like I've actually seen that because I even went through and like read the entire thing again after I had accepted it the first time just to see like how exactly they worded it. But no, I don't think it's enough because really the way to have the driver in control is on your phone. You're holding the go to target button. Essentially, the second you release that, the car's supposed to stop. More than once, I've tried that in a completely secluded parking lot away from everybody after the incident, and it does not respond in a timely manner. Like, I think if you have bad signal or bad cell service, the connection drops. It takes a while for the app to actually relay the message that you've stopped the command, and that gets over to the car and stops the vehicle. That's one thing. Second thing is you have to be aware, you have to be within visual radius, but at the same time, like, the best you could do is honestly get up to the car. Like, if the app doesn't respond, you have to basically open the door. Like, you have to press the door handle, and that should immediately stop the vehicle. And that makes complete sense if you're using regular summon. If you're just moving the car forward and back, stay out of a tight parking or in a garage. But for the features of Smart Summon, you're typically a little bit further out, and you still can see the car, and you're in charge of like stopping it, but it should respond in time. You know, that's one thing. The other thing is that it has the ability to distinguish between what is a public road and what is a private road. Say you're parked at an intersection and you try to bring your car across to the other side of the intersection, that actually won't let you. It says this feature is not available on public spaces or something to that extent. I'm not sure the exact message, but it won't let you. And specifically in Quebec, what we've learned is that technically a mall parking lot, even though that's a private space owned by the mall, since it's accessible by the general public, for the purposes of autonomous driving regulations as set by the government, that's technically classified as a public space.
So, George, listen, you're obviously the points that you're outlined here, right, lead me to think, well, maybe you should go down a legal route. By the way, online, there are other examples. Like, it's not just you that's had this happen to them. Have you thought about going to a lawyer, maybe trying to get a class action lawsuit, that kind of thing? Are you going to go pursue any legal avenues here?
Oh, yeah, for sure I am, especially because, you know, I've tried to get in touch with Tesla, and, like, just the fact that, you know, they didn't even show an interest in, like, has anything happened? Was anyone hurt? Besides any of that, they didn't even care about the entire issue. So it's a bigger issue that the fact that they didn't even decide to investigate why this issue has happened or what kind of remedies they could do to maybe try to reenact it or see if it happens again. If it's a secluded issue, get in touch with engineering, try to fix it. None of that. It's like, yeah, it happened, so what? Who cares, you know? And that's the number one thing. Like, I'm all for tech, but when it starts to come in the way of public safety and all of a sudden you have a car that's driving itself that can potentially just hit another car or another person, like, something has to happen. Some legal action has to happen to Tesla where, A, the government has to have some sort of repercussions for a manufacturer releasing features that aren't even legal in the province that they're operating. Two, the fact that all the general public, who's probably unaware that this feature is illegal, just received access to this feature, and they're basically, everybody's now the lab rats testing these better features when it's not even legal and it's on them.
George, what was the damage here? Well, how many thousands of damage did this cause?
I won't get into the exact number, but it's a couple $1,000s.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like there's a couple of different things they have to do. My car isn't as damaged as the other car just because it's on the quarter panel and it's aluminum, so it's more dent than paint. And I'm going down the avenue to see if I could do paintless dent removal, which is very difficult to do on a Tesla apparently. And depending on if that works and if I need to go to the body shop and actually do the whole filling and sanding and painting, it's two different things.
Gotcha. George, listen, if you end up going down a lawsuit route, please keep us informed, okay?
Yeah, will do. I just want everybody to be aware to be careful with this feature and to potentially just only use it on your own property, use it as intended, and just be aware of the law that wasn't made really clear.
George, very interesting. And I got to say, I of all the features on the Tesla, I've only used that feature once in a parking lot in near Washington D.C. It's the only time I used it, and I've never used it since.
Yeah.
Take care, George. Got to leave it there.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
That's George Ghazzoul, Montreal area Tesla owner.